Good morning, everyone. It is me, Miss Rachel, back at it again with another science lesson. So, today we are going to learn how to read power meters. Now, power meters are kind of a complicated thing because in Abu Dhabi, a lot of us live in apartment buildings and places where it's not so easy to find a power meter. But if you live in a villa or even a house, you will be able to find one of these somewhere around your home. And this thing that I've just circled is a power meter. And all this power meter is recording all of the electricity that your house is consuming. So, before I get ahead of myself, please write your name and the date at the top of your page and highlight that I can statement. So, I can describe the purpose of a power meter and read one with accuracy. So today you're actually going to learn how to read a power meter. So exciting. So let's read the background together and then I'll kind of talk through some points here. We all know that many things around us require electricity to work. Of course, we've discussed this at length. What would we not be able to survive without? What would we be sad? What would we miss? All things like that. But how do we know how much electricity we actually use? How is our electricity use at home measured? Because your parents have to actually pay for the electricity that you use. So, electricity meters are found on homes and other buildings. These meters record all the electricity used in that home or building. So even apartment buildings have them, but they're not always as easy to find, especially if you're in an apartment building with a few hundred people. So basically every time you use electricity, by turning on the computer, the blender, TV, or lights, the amount of electricity is recorded onto that meter. It's basically every time you turn something on, it's tick, tick, ticking, it's counting all of that energy that you're using in your house. We already know that electrical energy is measured in kilowatts per hour. We actually talked about that in the prior lesson. And the electricity meter shows how many kilowatts of electricity you are using. Okay? So, here's the fun part, and I know you guys are excited for this. We want to read a meter. So basically all we're going to do is look at the dials, which are down here. So I'm going to actually scroll a bit so you guys can see. Hopefully you got my highlighting in. Perfect. Let's change colors for fun. So, each of the dials rotates in an opposite direction from the one beside it. So even though that's actually not super vital information for you to know, you can see here that this one goes this way. 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 Just like a pattern. And this one goes this way. If it went on, it would go back and forth and back and forth. Okay, so we covered that. Dial 1 rotates clockwise, dial 2 rotates counterclockwise, dial 3 clockwise, blah, 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 blah. You can see that this way, this way, this way, this way. So when you are reading a meter, these are the things you need to know because they're actually not just straightforward. Sometimes there are rules, so let's talk about those rules. So always read your meter from right to left. So basically, we're starting here and traveling this way. So I guess you could kind of call it similar to Arabic. We're starting on the other side and working this way. Okay? If the dial is between two numbers, now this is a rule you must follow. You always record the smaller number. Always. Except, there's one exception. There's always an exception, right guys? If the dial is between 9 and 0, 9 is the smaller number. Well, that's very interesting. If the dial is between 0 and 1, 0 is the smaller number, but that one makes sense. So basically, we're going to remember these little rules. Pick smallest number. And honestly, guys, you can doodle this somewhere on your page. This really helps me remember when I'm learning something new. I just keep little notes. So I want to pick the smallest number, but between 0 and 9, 9 is smaller. So now I've got those little rules to kind of help me read this leader. Okay, it's honestly not very complicated. You just got to remember those couple rules. So it says it wants me to start at the right. So I'm going to start here. Okay, I'm going to look at this arrow and see that it's between two numbers. It's between 3 and 4. And I know that it always wants me to pick the smallest number. The smallest number here is 3, which is already written there, but I'm just doing this on my computer. All right, next one. We know it's moving the other way, but that doesn't matter to us. All I want to see is the needle is between two numbers, 6 and 7. I know it wants me to pick the smallest number, which is 6. So we record 6, just like it is here. All right, let's move on to the next one. We have the needle is between 6 and 5. All I want to do is pick the smallest number, which we know is 5. Then moving on to the next one, we're between 9 and 8. It's almost right on the 9, but still between, so we're still picking the smaller number, which is 8. And the last one, we're reading the needle here, and it's between 2 and 3. And the smaller number of those is 2. Okay, and here it's just laid out the steps for you. So, even though we write going this way, we still say it coming this way. So if I was saying, oh, hi sir, I'm here from the electrical company, your meter actually reads 28563. So I'm still reading it as if it's English, but I'm recording it as if it's Arabic. Does that make sense? I'm reading going this way, but I'm recording it going this way. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's try some examples. Here we go. Okay, I'm only going to do the first 3 with you, and then I'd like you to try all the way to 10 by yourself. And I'm going to post the key on Thursday so you can check all of your work. All right, we're doing the first 3 together. So remember, right to left. Let's just do little points here. Smaller number. That's a number sign, not a hashtag, people. And between 0 to 9, 9 is smaller. Funny little rule, but that's the way it is. All right, let's get my pen. So we're starting on the right. Here's our needle. We're between 3 and 4. We want to pick the smaller number. 3 is smaller. Here's our needle. It's between 9 and 8. We want to pick the smaller number. Here's my needle. It's between 7 and 8. We want to pick the smaller number. Here's my needle between 5 and 6. Smaller number. Here's my needle. 5 and 4. Pick the smaller number. Okay, great work. Let's move on to the next one. Let's change color, be more exciting. Start on the right. Always on the right. Here's my needle. I'm between 7 and 6. We know 6 is the smaller number. Here's my needle. We're between 2 and 3. We know 2 is the smaller number. Here's my needle. We're between 5 and 4. We, of course, know 4 is the smaller number. Here's my needle between 0 and 9. Oh, we know that 0 is a smaller number. But wait, we have a rule. When the needle is between 0 and 9, 9 is smaller. So this one's actually 9. I hope we caught you on that tricky one there. Here's our needle for the next one. We're between 6 and 5. And we, of course, know that 5 is a smaller number. So our meter reads 59426. Okay, let's do this last one. Let's change our color again. Get all fancy with our green. We're starting from the right. If you want to try this by yourself, pause the video now and resume when you've got it, and I will give you the answer. Okay? Okay, we're back. Hopefully you paused. Try the work yourself. Maybe you're already at number 10, in which case, awesome job. We're completely on board. So, on number 3, we're looking at the needle. We're between 2 and 3. 2 is the smaller number. Next needle, we're looking at 9 and 8. 8 is the smaller number. Next meal, we're looking between 6 and 5. 5 is the smaller number. Next meal, we're looking at 3 and 4. 3 is the smaller number. And finally, the last meal, 8 and 7. 7 is the smaller number. So if you got a reading of 7, 3, 5, 8, 2, you are awesome, amazing, and great. So I want you to continue to do 4 to 10 by yourself, but that is the end of my part of the lesson. So again, let's summarize what we learned. We have learned that there are power meters attached to every home, every apartment. In a home, they're easier to find yourself. In an apartment building, not so easy to find. And those meters actually record the electricity that your house is using. When we are reading these meters, we always start from the right and move left. But when we read it, we move back from left to right. We know that if the needle is between two numbers, we always pick the smaller number. And we know that there's one exception to that rule. If the needle is between 0 and 9, we're going to always pick 9. All right, that is a short, easy, quick lesson today. I hope you guys learned something about electrical meters. And I also want you to do a little homework. Go and try and find your own power meter. If you can find it, take a picture, upload it onto Edmodo for me so I can check it out. Maybe you can even give me a reading if it looks similar to this. Even if it doesn't, if it looks a bit different, that's awesome. Still take a picture and send it to me. I want to see you guys out there hunting for your own electrical meters, okay? Great work today, and I will see you next time with Miss Rachel.